Hey friends, today is launch day. I'm so excited. Today is the day that I get to share with you an amazing product that I've been working on for a while now. And my hope is that this will be something that allows you to take the Enneagram and transform and do the work. So let me give a little bit of background as to how this came about, and then I'll tell you what it is. So I've been doing Enneagram work for a little while now, and there was a time when I was just learning, reading all the books, took some workshops, took some courses, and just filling up my head with all of this great knowledge. And I felt so seen and so exposed and so understood, and I thought, oh my gosh, maybe I have some hope here to get out of some of these habits that I've always been stuck in, and I didn't even know why. Now I know why. Now I know why I'm stuck. And if I know why I'm stuck, then for sure, then I'll be able to find my way to freedom. Like for sure, that'll be the next step. And unfortunately, knowing the Enneagram and knowing the problem is not the same as doing Enneagram work or transforming and being free from the problem. And when I say the problem, I mean the habitual, instinctual behaviors that keep us stuck in that loop. And for each type, it's a little bit different. But I think we all know, especially if you've done any Enneagram work at all or some self-reflection, we all know those areas where we choose fear over faith, where we choose hustle over rest, where we choose numbing out versus engaging. You know, I could go on and on. We all know those areas where we choose to stay kind of stuck and trapped in the bondage of our personality versus choosing health and freedom and going the opposite direction. And I just felt so frustrated reading the books, going to the workshops. It was still out of grasp. And there came a point where I decided to reach out for a guide. I decided to find a mentor. I decided to put my money where my mouth was. I joined a cohort. I reached out to some other mentors, and the added guidance that brought to me on top of the knowledge that I already had in the Enneagram is what cracked it all open, is what allowed me. Now listen, I am not perfect. I am not fully transformed. I have lots of work to do, my friends, 100%. But I was able to actually let go of my work and step into rest. I was able to actually start affirming my worth is not in what I do. And then that's just for me, that's just my battle. But that was after years. I don't know if you're with me. I don't know if you've been in this position of just working so hard and feeling like you're bumping up against a wall and feeling like I can see the problem, but I'm still stuck. Or I know my Enneagram type, but I don't know how it actually helps me. It actually kind of makes me feel depressed because it's like putting words to stuff that's not that cool, not that great about myself. And after years of feeling like I'm self-aware, I am super self-aware, but I am not making any progress. So I'm just in this little self-aware loop, and it's like kind of cool, and I feel kind of good about myself. But at the end of the day, there's a transformation that's not happening. And so having that guidance is what made all the difference to me. And so what I've been trying to do is create a product where you can get all the things you need to go from what I'm calling point A to point B, to go from bondage in my personality to transformed, to freedom. Freedom is the goal. That's what I'm always pointing towards. Freedom is the goal. I don't think the goal is perfection. I don't think the goal is to not be who you are. I don't think the goal is anything other than greater freedom. And when we look at each type, we see that when we try to use our type's instincts to get free from our type's instincts, we only go deeper into our type's instincts and we stay in bondage. And it's not about you being like good according to someone else's standards. It's about you being free to not always have to be stuck in that same, I'm triggered, this is how I respond. Then I'm triggered, then this is how I respond. Then I'm triggered, then this is how I respond. It's exhausting. It's exhausting to stay in that loop. I'm sure you've been there. I know I have. So freedom, not being perfect or good, freedom is the goal. And how do we get free from those habitual loops, from being stuck in our personality, from always dealing with the same problems in the same way and finding the same frustrations. Okay, so there were 4 things that were pivotal for my growth, and I took those 4 things and I put them together into what I'm calling the Freedom Seekers Community. That's the thing, that's the announcement. That's what I'm launching, the Freedom Seekers Community. First is information. So we do need to learn the Enneagram. So I've provided my Enneagram course, which is just my signature course that covers the 9 types, the triads, the stances, subtypes, wings, stress and security, basically all the pillars of the Enneagram. What's also there, this is so exciting to me, are all of the live classes I have ever done. I can't tell you how many people see me talking about a live class after the fact and ask me, oh my gosh, did I miss it? Can I still watch it? And unfortunately, once the class is done, it's done. And so there's no opportunity for individuals who wanted to learn about problems in typing or struggles to find your type that I just did. I had so many people wanting to get in that class and they missed it. And I feel awful whenever that happens. There were people who wanted to learn about contemplative prayer and a meditative practice. And that class, I already gave it. And I hope to give it again in the future. But what if you miss it when I announce that one too? So as part of the community, every class I've ever done is there in the library, waiting for you to watch whenever you want. And any future classes that I do will be automatically added into the community as well. So after information, the next thing is we need a guide who won't keep us comfortable. And I love being this guide because I love hard. I love all of my clients hard, but because I love them hard, I ask very hard questions. And I do that in my coaching sessions. I do that in my one-on-one coaching sessions. One of my clients said it this way, I like to stir the pot. I like to make you look where you don't want to look. I like to ask questions that will cause you to dig a little bit deeper. And that antagonistic, in the best way, that kind of stirring up, I realized the hard way, you need a guide for that. You're not going to naturally go there if you don't have someone who cares about you kind of stirring the pot, making you look deeper, making you question what you've just accepted. That's crucial. So in the Freedom Seekers community, we also have an opportunity for you to do monthly coaching sessions with me, which is live, face-to-face group coaching sessions. And I'm so thrilled to offer this because I can't tell you how many people have booked coaching sessions with me, loved them, and then just said, you know what, I don't have the margin to pay for a one-on-one session on a regular basis. And I get that. I don't always have the margin for that either. But sometimes I do need a guide. Sometimes I do need to sit and say, all right, here's where I'm at. And sometimes it only takes a few questions, 1 or 2, even just one really good question will just stick with you for a while, and it just gnaws at you and it causes you to dig up things that you might not have gone through before. And it causes you to self-observe a little bit more. And then we also have monthly journal prompts that are emailed out every month to everyone in the community for you to sit and do even deeper work, right? So we've got information, we've got a guide to coach and to stir up, and then we also need community support. So community support also happens in those group coaching sessions. It happens in the chat inside the community. This past year, I joined an Enneagram cohort and it was the best thing. Better than any book, better than any workshop. I mean, those are great and I needed them as the foundation, but it was incredible to have people who spoke the same Enneagram language that I did, who understood self-compassion, who understood the journey, who are on it themselves, so they're humble people. Nobody who does Enneagram work at this level is going to be all up in your face saying, well, you should, because we all know when we're on this journey, there has to be self-compassion. There has to be a sense of, you know what, I am amazing and I also have a lot of work to do. And those are both true at the same time. And so it's it's unlike any other environment I've been a part of. It's unlike any other community I've been a part of. And to be a part of a cohort where I had individuals listen to me with empathy, challenge me and encourage me, again, to push into growth in maybe ways that I wouldn't have, that community support, I was like, I have got to give this to everyone. I have got to figure out a way to help anyone who's a part of the Enneagram workshop, whether you follow me on Instagram, you're on my email list, whatever, however way I touch you, I want to offer to you a way to be a part of some sort of Enneagram cohort. There's more than just knowledge that is required to make the transformation. There is trust that you will be okay if you leave behind your old ways of being in the world. And sometimes when we are standing on the edge of that cliff, wondering if we should jump, wondering if we should leave behind our old ways of doing things, the bondage feels like safety sometimes. Stepping out of the cage feels scary. My friends, you need a group around you cheering you on. You need a group around you saying, you can do this. I know how hard it is for you. I know that you're a 5 and how hard it is for you to engage in this social setting. And I know you want to change and grow. I'm cheering you on. Tell us about it when it's finished. Tell us about it when it's over. We're here. We're supporting you. Press into faith. Remember how safe you are and go get them. Like a team, like a team that just like standing on the sidelines cheering you on. So when you're a part of this cohort, that's what you get. That's what you get. You get information. You get coaching and stirring the pot, and you get community. Those are the 3 things that have been absolutely 100% essential to my personal growth with the Enneagram. And I have been racking my brain as to how I can bundle that up and give it to you. And this is what I've come up with. Freedom Seekers Community. So I hope that it fits with your goals, with your budget, with your vision for how the Enneagram can be a catalyst for transformation for you. And I hope that you'll join us and that we can work together and that I'll see you on those monthly coaching calls and that I'll get to interact with you in the chats and challenge you a little bit with some of the journal prompts, because freedom is the goal, my friends.